Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, welcome to Mediocre Poker. I'm Amanda Bonanza. With me there above me is Emily Kailyn. Hello, Emily.
Hi. How did I get above you?
It's just the way it worked. I don't know. It's just the way it's jamming. It's the way it's jamming. We're playing PLO 25. As always, I am coming up on the big blind here. Now, before we got started, as you can see, we've changed the format a little bit, and I like it better. Let us know in the comments what you think about the new format. We'd love to hear it. Like and subscribe. Click like if you like the new format. If you don't like the new format, click subscribe. And put a 1 in the comments if you dig the new format. Give us a 2 for poop if you don't like this new format.
Poop.
And let us know. We'll take your votes seriously. We really will. We'll change it around. So earlier, when we were testing this new look, I had to jump in a game, and I played one hand, and I punted 47 big blinds. So we're in the hole. We're starting out in the hole here. So we're down. This hand is not good enough to play, but it's good enough to get a free roll unless seat 4 there. RFIs, which they probably will. If they've got 310 big blinds, they're probably not limping. Yeah. So we're not going to be seeing that one. We're going to donate that big blind to the winner of this pot, which will not be us.
Cheers to you.
Yeah. So last week we did pretty well. And I think I came out ahead last week in a reasonable way. The week before, I think we also came out ahead. But in the interim, when I was not on the show during the week when I played, I have been losing big and I am way down. And so I've been on a pretty steady losing streak for the last kind of 6 weeks. I think it might be the longest losing streak I've ever been on. Now, this is part of it. This happens, but I'm hoping I can fix it and get out of it because it sucks to be on a downswing and I want to be up, 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 not down, down, down. So I did kind of lose about a third of my bankroll and it sucks. It's so I'm absolutely down and I want to get back out of the hole and get back at least to zero and then start having a regular win rate. And so I need to play better. I need to play tighter. My solution is I'm going to focus more on on hand reading. For the example, that read is it's a 3-bet and we have shit in the small blind. So that's an easy read.
Yeah.
3-bet good. But what we can do is say okay, so a 3-bet there, they have they have a strong hand. They have what's called an uncapped range. They have aces, kings, double suited Broadway, all in their range, all the good stuff. We know they don't have the bad stuff in their range. But they did. They 3-bet a real bad hand, if you saw that. Did you catch it, Em?
Yeah, I did.
It was actually a really bad hand. Now, here's a hand that looks kind of good, but it's not that good. And with a bet in front of us, we're going to let that go.
Yeah.
Even though we saw what they bet. So I would even say that I'm going to look that up. And we can see the hand history here. And you can see that. Now, that's another thing I can do. So y'all can see this. So the last hand that we played, they 3-bet with ace 5 4 3. And it was a suited ace. So that's not a terrible 3-bet. In fact, it's just an aggressive 3-bet. So, but they have been showing aggression here. So I'm just going to give that. I'm going to mark them with a flame. And that's definitely not a good hand what they're showing right now. And so they're aggressive. Aggressive with weak holdings. So I can't tell yet if they're just an aggressive maniac, which it seems like they are.
Well,
we're glad that they're... Well, they might buy back in. You never know. They're immediately to our right, which we love. We love having the aggressive players immediately to our right. That's exactly who we want. You want the passive players to your left and the aggressive players to our right. But we're seeing 3-bets all over the place. We're seeing calls. So this might be a wild ass table. It looks like a lot less conservative than the tables usually are at these stakes. So maybe we're in for a wild ride here. I mean, I would say the immediate thing to do based on the way this table's playing is definitely tighten up ranges and play real aggressive with the nuts. Just push money in the pot when we've got it. We're going to try and reduce bluffing a lot. I don't think we're going to be doing We can maybe do a little bluff catching. We can clearly do bluff catching with seat 5. But, I mean, as far as the other players, I didn't even see what seat 2 had there. Let's look at that. Oh, yeah, we're not playing this. So let's look at what seat... Well, they left anyway. It hardly matters.
Yeah.
So they're out of the picture. We're now 4-handed. And seat 4's got a big stack.
Against some big stacks.
That's fine. That just means we can double up a couple times. That's great. I'm not afraid of a big stack. I want that stack. If there's 367.6 chips at the table, that means that's 367.6 more big blinds that I can have. And yeah, that's a nasty wet board. A lot of options there.
Somebody got 2 10s, you think? They're betting.
I doubt it because I have one of them. So like I doubt.
Oh, that yeah.
They couldn't. They couldn't possibly. Yeah. Yeah. So like the nuts there was definitely a full house, but I was blocking the quads. So yeah, so here we are. Well, this player, yeah, they're just aggressive. They're just like 3-betting every time. And I mean that doesn't mean they're not 3-betting with good hands, but it does mean they're not. They're just betting everything. Everything with very marginal hands. Hands that look good to someone who doesn't understand Omaha, but like is playing Texas Hold'em, and that's what they're doing. They saw a pair of 5s and a Jack King suited. They're like, those two independently are good, so I'm gonna bet it. Now here's a hand that we are gonna actually play. We're not gonna bring it up here, even though it's pretty strong. And we are gonna bet that king. We have top pair and a heads up to a checked big blind, so like, yeah, or to a limper. They're going to call. We now have top 2, so we're just going to pop that. And we're just going to take it down.
All right, nice.
And we are now 3 ways here. So our aggressive player kind of left, and so now we're bet with the 2 tight, more reasonable players here. And I don't think I want to call. It's double suited, but that 4 sucks, and I'm in the small blind, so we're just going to let that go. Yeah, a pair of 10s with a queen and double suited is good, but the 4 is a problem. I would play that probably in any other position at this table, but I'm not going to do it in the small blind. And yeah, we would add a pair of queens, and we probably, but with a 10 kicker is not great. Who knows? So we can start. I'd say seat 1 who brought out early. So we would have a full house here, so we probably would have won this hand. Probably. No. Oh, yeah, 10s over 2s, or 2s full of 10s. So unless someone's got a 2 in their hand, or a higher pair than a pair of 10s in their hand, like we probably, well, and it's looking like seat 1 has either one of those. Yeah, seat 1's got something. They check raised the river, which is a power move. That almost so here we have double paired on a suited 9s and 8s. So this is actually a very strong hand, and we are going to 3-bet this one. So we'll bring that in. And we do want to go heads up with seat 4 is what we're looking to do. And hopefully seat 2 is not going to cold call a 3-bet on their first hand, and they didn't. And we're happy to take this down right now. If they fold, we'll see if they call. If they 4-bet, they don't. They call, and we did hit our set of 9s, so we're in really good shape. We're just going to carry on with large bets here. I'm going to go ahead and bet 20 because we've got a good, strong set, and we don't really want to see those diamonds come, and we're happy to just take that down. Okay. There was a wet board.
Win, but a win, so that's good.
It was a reasonable win. We do now have another good hand here. We got a pair of kings with a queen and an 8, and we got a suited king. So, and we're in the cutoff, so that's definitely good enough to bring in. I wouldn't 3-bet this hand. I would call this hand if I had a raise in front of me, but I will call a 3-bet. But instead, we're just going to take it down, which is just fine here. Nice, pair of 8s with a 2 and a 3 is not good at all, even though the 8's suited. It doesn't matter. It's a shitty suit. So we will not be calling any raise, but we will limp in if someone wants to give us a free roll. And we got 2 limpers to our left. That's good. So we've got passive players to our left, and we do get a free roll, but we're still going to be real careful about this because that looks like we might have something because 6, 7, 8, but that's a backdoor straight draw, and we don't have any clubs, and we definitely don't have a king. We're not putting any money into this pot. And if someone bets, so seat 2 should have bet there no matter what. When you get a check, when you're on the button and you get a check in front of you, you just bet, especially if a king's on the board. Now, once again, we have nothing and we're out of position. But the fact that neither of these two stabbed at this last time, seat 2 not stabbing at them, we know they don't have a king. Seat 1 could have a king. They could also have picked up a queen there. Notice seat 2's weakness. Our 8s aren't going to hold. We don't have any equity at all. We're just going to let that go. The pot's weak. There's nothing to play for there. So seat 2 is definitely playing face up. They should have bluffed that. Like there was no excuse for them to not bet that flop in position to 2 checks with a king on the board. Like they're just supposed to bet there, and they didn't do it, which tells us that they are not going to bet without a made hand. So anytime they do bet, that means they've got a piece of the board.
They've got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've got something. They don't necessarily have the nuts. I'll bet you that they're telegraphing their bet size though too. So if they bet, they're gone anyway. So now it's just the 3 of us, and I have a good hand here too, and they're just letting me. So it looks like the seat 1 and seat 4 are playing a reasonable game here. They seem like pretty solid players so far. I haven't seen anything egregious. They're conservative. They're not loose. And so we might see what we can do here. We seem to be able to have fold equity on the button, so we can probably loosen our button range a little bit. But definitely not our small blind range.
Okay.
Do you know what all that means?
Yeah, vaguely.
Okay. Remember, at any point, if I'm getting jargon heavy and stupid, let me know, because I do want this to be understandable by people that haven't been playing poker for 35 years.
Well, the ranges are just what players could have, right? That's
and what I'm willing to play. The types of hands. So for example, this is a strong hand. It's a suited ace and a pair of aces, and it's got a wheel draw, which isn't like super, super strong aces, but it's pretty strong aces, and it's definitely worth a pot size bet. And it would be worth a 3-bet. I mean, I will always 3-bet aces.
Okay.
And so we got a limper call from the button and a limp call from the small blind. So what we're hoping here is we do have an overpair with our aces, and so we are going to bet, I'd say let's do 8. A large size, because we do have an overpair. We don't necessarily want those spades to come, but we have the nut flush blocker, which gives us a little added. We can bet that a little harder. Even if the flush comes, we can bluff because they might. And here's the flush. And so now here's where we put pot in. And we're going to think about it, make them think like we're thinking about it. And we're just going to bet it because now we're bluffing. Now, if they call, they know that they don't have the ace. That's what they know. And that's what that is. And so because we had the ace, that's called the nut flush blocker. And that's why we were able to do that. I wouldn't have bet that. I would have bet small otherwise, but I wanted to bluff them out of the hand because I didn't want them to call. And they may not have had spades, and they may have called with weaker spades, but we would have bought the information. And so
yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about that decision. We're clawing out of the basement here. We did hit a 10. We do have a backdoor club draw. We've got 9s as a backup. We have 10s and 2s, so that's not great. That's bottom 2. We're going to check and call. We have a marginal hand. We now have a full house, and so we're going to... They don't have anything. They would have bet. They should have bet. They didn't, so... We're just going to put money in the pot because there's nothing in there, and they're not going to call. They're just going to fold. There's nothing to do about that, but I'm not giving them a free card. It's just I'm not going to check.
And for the
When 1.9 big blinds are in the pot, we're just betting. It's and that lets us know too that if they if they don't bet, that we can just do that no matter what we have against this player. We can probably try that strategy out once or twice. Whereas, like, even if we have nothing, if they don't hit and they don't bet in position, then we can just go ahead and hit pot on the turn, kind of, if a duck comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't do that if the wet hand gets better. It's like, if it's a wet board and the draws come, then we have to be a little more cautious. But like, if a duck comes, like if nothing comes and like an irrelevant card turns, we can then shove our chips against this player.
You're saying, yeah, what's already on there was good enough for me to beat you.
Yeah. Well, or just like, you showed weakness. You should have bet. You didn't bet when you were supposed to bet. They were supposed to bet on that flop and they didn't. And so we did. And we did actually have it, but like, at that point I knew that when our full house came, like, I knew they didn't have anything, like, and so there was nothing we could do. Like, they were gonna fold no matter what we did, and at no point would they have put money. And I guess technically, no, I don't like this. I guess technically we could have checked and seen if they would have taken a stab at the river, but like, I don't. I think it's just better to be aggressive and, like, not let them know. I didn't need them to catch up. It's like, there's no point.
Mm-hmm.
6, 6, 7, 10 is kind of a reasonable hand here, and we're heads up against a weak player. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to raise the minimum just to make them put a chip in the pot. And great. We have fold equity. We have fold equity against seat 1. They are a tight player, so that actually told me a lot. And if they're going to fold to a min click, then that means they're full. They have they're playing a reasonable range, which means we do have fold equity with them. What that does mean is when they do come into the pot, they've got something reasonable. They're not playing any 4. They're not playing peanut butter and jelly. We can put them on GTO ranges, essentially.
Peanut butter and jelly. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. That just means bullshit. And a really terrible hand. Oh boy, is that a stinky hand there. What do you think of that? I'm not card reading. Shame on me. I'm not hand reading. I forgot. Slipping.
Yeah, that's what we
Running
need to
off
get
at the
into.
mouth. Yeah, I need to start hand reading here. What you looking at? You're looking at something. Something interesting.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm the ADHD is strong today. Let's just say that.
I love you.
Well, when the hand isn't happening,
Right. I'm gonna fold this. I'm gonna hand read.
So I put a jacket on and like, yeah.
I know you got really pretty. I love it. So we got there. Player 1's limping. So I mean, the fact that they folded to a min click and then they're limping just tells me that they're kind of a weak player. And I'm gonna kind of put them. I'm gonna mark them with a fish. I'm gonna say
the mark of the fish.
Weak, passive, kind of nitty. They're a little nitty. But what I think we can derive from what we've seen out of seat 1 is they're gonna chase stuff, but if they put chips in the pot, they've got it. Like, and so like, if they want to get their chips in the pot, then they've got a real strong hand, because like, they didn't bet. They're just not betting anytime they don't have anything super strong.
Yeah.
So they're not really bluffing at all. So if they put chips in the pot, if they call, they are on a draw or a marginal hand, and they're not going to bet their draws. They're only going to bet real strong hands. So if they do put chips in the pot voluntarily, then we have to be really careful about them. And we now have a suited ace with ace king 3-4, which is this is an excellent high-low hand. We're not playing high-low, but it is good enough to call. And so we're going to call, and they're probably going to call as well.
She said I look cute, so. She said I look cute, so.
I did say she looks cute. Charlotte, don't you tell Emily she's not cute.
Charlotte brought me down 2 other classier jacket options, and since you said I
I
look cute,
like
then
your
I'm gonna
jacket
stay with
as
what
it
I got.
is. You can do a costume change when we take our break. So now this player who's been kind of they're betting pot here, so I don't have anything really, so I'm gonna let them have it. I mean, there's no reason to call a pot size bet with no real equity here. We don't have any straight draws. They could have a lot. If a queen beats us, like we had two overcards, but I don't think they were betting pot with a draw with a naked straight draw. They had something. I think it was a reasonable fold to a pot size bet on the flop there
Okay.
from someone who's making like they're not making really strong aggressive plays either. They seem to be pretty tight, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
say bad. I wouldn't say in a bad way, but like definitely when they are going to show aggression, it probably means it's strength and not a donkey bluff. This
Yeah, and
hand's
it
no
just seems
good.
like
We're gonna
you know
let
we were
it go.
talking before in being trans about grinding in games. It seems like this is with these
That's what
players
poker's all
tournaments. It's gonna be a
about.
little grindy for a bit. It's gonna be a little bit grindy.
Poker is a grinder's game. It's a game of patience and wait for a hand and then strike, kind of. And so it's a lot of folding. Good poker is folding a lot. Like if you want to play good poker, you just have to fold like a good 85% of your hands, really. Like I mean, you're playing like maybe not that much, maybe like 75, 80. Like I mean, yeah, honestly, maybe 85. Like maybe like 80 and six handed because you want a V pip right in your high teens, which is your voluntary put in pot. So well, I mean, we're getting a free roll here, and we did hit top pair, so we're gonna keep going
Okay.
with it. We have backdoor flush, we backdoor straight. Yeah, we'll bet pot. See if they come along for the ride.
No.
Nope. Happy to take that down at any point. And that we will not be playing. So we're happy to get an extra 0.6 big blinds there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, seat 5. They brought in for the minimum. Now they're 3-betting. They almost certainly have a strong hand. With that short of a stack, 3-betting pot. I mean, aces are my first thought, but clearly a very strong range here, seat 5. And so here's a 4-bet from this. So they have a strong hand. They have aces, and that is a
Oh, they have
strong
the.
hand there. Yeah. So
Oh.
they both made great
Oh.
moves, and seat 4 is going to take it down with the aces for sure.
Yeah.
Seat 5 did the
And
right thing. They had a really strong hand, and they were right to do that. They just didn't buy in for enough money.
and that's poker for you, right? Like
That's number
the
Wang.
cards are
There it is.
the
King
cards
6
got to be
7
there.
8. No, not doing it. Not to a raise. And they bought right back in for the minimum. So that's a weird strategy, is the buying in for the minimum. Like I've seen people do that in the casinos and stuff, and I kind of understand it, but I really don't. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like having a chip stack is more advantageous in any way, and if you think you're a good player, you should always buy in for as much as you possibly can, because you have so much more room to maneuver when you have more chips, and you can push people around, and like there's all sorts of things you can do, and if nothing else, you can win more money when you have a hand. Like I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
nothing else, like it's like if you only buying in for 30 big blinds, all you can win is 30 big blinds. Like, it's
Yeah.
like you can't, but like I can win 127, and so it's like, so I'd rather win 127 with a monster hand than like, yep. You also, but see, so what that tells me is that they're afraid of losing, because they don't want to lose 127 big blinds. They want to only lose their 30, even though they bought back right back in again. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what that tells me. Which so they're playing with a little bit of scared money. So I can probably push them around with bluffs. So
You
these are
know,
the things that go through my head. It's a lot all the time.
I thought the meds were supposed to be helping with that. You know, one of the things. So, I'm a craps player. At least I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I, had mixed luck in Vegas, and so I found an online, just like a flash based game. So it
Yeah.
was just you playing against the odds. That's all it was. Which is all really craps is. You're not playing against other
Yeah,
players.
there's
So
no strategy in
it
craps.
was a perfect thing to kind of learn like how do the dice go? Like how does this all come together?
Yeah, craps is
Um,
confusing for
and
sure.
I found a very similar thing. One of the things I focused on for a while is I think you start with like $1,000 or $2,000. And so what I would do is I would bet and purposely lose down to a certain amount like that I would bring. So I'd lose down to $100 and say like if I start with $100, like how well do I do? If I start with $200, and I found that $500 was about the sweet spot of like not putting too much in, but having
Mm-hmm.
enough cushion where you could lose down until the table got hot again, and
Mm-hmm.
then you bring it back up. But if I started with any less than that, usually I would end up losing
Yeah.
all the money.
And I mean, that's the thing is like I mean, if you're talking about craps, like I don't play table games, and that's the reason is because like I know how they work. Like it's like all table games, like blackjack, roulette, like black craps, slots, especially like video poker, like the table poker games where it's like three hand, even baccarat. I can't call this hand. Um, all those
Mm-hmm.
games, like there's a reason casinos make money, and it's because those games are designed to take your money. You can't win. Like the of those games, the only game that you can actually have an edge in and actually beat the casino is blackjack if you're counting cards correctly. If you know how to count cards and you know how to do it correctly, then you can beat the house, and you can flip that advantage over, which is why they frown on card counting. They can't say
Yeah.
it's illegal because it's literally just paying attention. Like, and so like,
Yeah.
but they don't like it. So if they catch you doing it, they'll kick you out of the casino. And the reason is because you're taking their edge away. And
Yeah.
like, and so most players don't have any idea how to card count. They don't know how to do it, but there's a way to do it. It's not easy. It's simple arithmetic, but it's difficult to keep track of in a fast moving game. And so here we go. This is a strong hand, and I'm gonna
Oh
three bet
yeah.
it from the small blind. I don't want the seat one to come in. I'm going to go heads up with this strong hand. Let's see what we got here. We have a call, and we do hit. So we have top pair now with the nut flush blocker. So we are going to go ahead and bet that. And we're going to go ahead and bet that small. We'll do
Mm-hmm.
8
Yeah, because we only
because
have
I think we're in
one
good
diamond.
shape here. Even if they have diamonds, they're going to be sketchy about this. So I think we're okay if they call once or twice. I think we're going to, and they raise. So I'm going to re raise them because now I'm going to re raise pot because and they might go all in. They might have diamonds. They have a short stack. Shit. Too late. I was thinking they had a stack and they didn't. And so
Oh,
we
you
got
scared
lucky.
them
We
out of their
got lucky.
stack. You
Yeah.
scared them out of it. That was wow.
Well, because I had the nut flush blocker. That's how you play the nut flush blocker.
Mm,
And they knew that. They had diamonds. They had diamonds, and they saw my small bet, and they're like, that was what they did. They raised the minimum to see what I had
mm,
and to see if I'd have called them down. Like, and that's what they were doing. That was what's called a blocker bet. And it didn't work. I instead came over the top, and they were like, yep, they've got the nut flush and they've got me beat. So they folded. And that's what you can do with the blockers. That's how blockers work. Now that works
mm.
better when they've
That's
got
funny.
a fat stack. And honestly, they should have called. I think they were supposed to call with as little as they had behind. And so I realized that like I made a mistake there. I should have just folded the raise because
Uh-huh.
that blocker bet shouldn't have worked if they were playing well because
Uh-huh.
of the pot odds that they were getting. They were supposed to call just with their marginal flush. Like, but it's funny because like you bet the big amount, and even though they only had 17 big blinds anyway, they saw the large amount and they ran. If like it wouldn't have changed. I could have if I'd have changed my bet size to be like 17 big blinds, they probably would have called, even though the result would have been exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just there's like little strategy stuff you can do with that, but that gets into like real fine tuning stuff.
Well,
Like
and the whole thing with poker is like so much of it's psychological.
the whole
So much
thing's
of it's psychological.
psychological. The whole game. That's what it's about. So we have a reasonably strong hand here, and we've got a weak player behind us. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. We do have a pair and a suited ace, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that in the cutoff, hoping that seat one won't call, and they didn't. So now we have position with a marginal hand. And we're going heads up with it too, and we did hit our set. So we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to bet the pot here because we don't want those spades to come, even though we do have a straight flush blocker here. And so we're just going to take it down. We're happy to do it.
Take it down. Take it down.
Mm-hmm. This is a hand we're gonna play. We don't love that we block our suit with that 4, but it's a wheel draw, Broadway. It's a wheel draw, Broadway draw, and we do have ace king suited here. We have a suited ace, so we're just gonna call. We're not gonna raise with this.
Yeah.
And we didn't hit, so we're gonna probably let it go.
We'll fold. We got nothing.
Yeah, we got nothing. We got nothing. Well, we have overcards, which isn't not, and we do have a backdoor flush draw. So if anyone checks it around, and they did check it around, but we have nothing at all now. We now have no equity except for overcards. So we're definitely not. This would be if we were in position, we'd be bluffing the shit out of this because I don't think anyone has anything here. And if they were slow playing like a straight draw, they deserve they should have bet their straight draw. Like you're supposed to bet you, and they don't have, and no one bets. So I bet you I could bet pot here and take this down. But since we don't have anything at all and we're out of position and it's multi-way, I'm not going to do it because someone could easily have a done 2 pair here that they call. So
yeah.
Just this is why you can't do it out of position.
A pair beats us.
Yeah, a pair of jacks is good. And there's a pair of 10s. They both had straights, and neither of them bet them. So what the fuck? Neither of these two bet their straights, and they both had straights, and they didn't bet. I don't understand that at all. At all. Baffled. This player is definitely weak. They're getting downgraded to a mouse. Not nitty, a nit. Yeah. So anytime seat one puts chips in the pot, they've got a monster. Bottom line. We have lots of full, we can just bet into them. And if they show any aggression, we back off. So we can just keep pushing chips at them until they fold, kind of no matter what's in our hand. And as soon as they push back, we get out. And we do have kings. It's not great kings. It's actually not very good kings at all. That 2 sucks and it's rainbow, but I'm going to raise and bring in because it is kings. And I don't want to let all the limpers in. But they're all probably going to call anyway because that's what limpers do. Here we got a limp 3-bet. So that's almost certainly aces. So we're just going to fold that. We're going to let them have it. So whenever someone limps and then, oh no, they were the big blind. So they weren't limping. That wasn't a limp. I'm wrong. But it's still a nasty, a 3-bet. We didn't have a hand that could call a 3-bet. Yeah, I maybe should have just let that go. I think maybe I shouldn't even played those kings at all, even on the button with everyone in the pot like that. Now I'm thinking about it. I think that was probably a reasonable pre-flop fold.
Okay.
People think kings are good, and they are, but they're not. Not all kings are equal, and we had one of the worst hands of kings you could have. Yeah, we had king 2-3 rainbow. That's fucking dog shit. Yeah, it's just a bad hand. Yeah, we should have let that go. Let's be a little more discretionary. I was way too loose with that bring in. It cost me 5.6 big blinds. That's not helping my win rate. Every little bit counts. I'd
like to point out real quick, just for an injection of positivity, that we are back to even for the day.
Yeah, we're right there. We are back to even. We did claw out of the hole, didn't we?
We did.
I think we're one big blind down, but I didn't even realize it. Yeah, we are. We got back our punt.
Initial investment, yes.
Yeah. No, definitely not calling. So seat two's three betting. They three bet twice in three hands. Let's keep an eye on them. They could just be running hot. We got a donk. Well, no, they came out first. Seat one's got a monster here. Seat one's got two pair plus. Well, over pair plus. This person says they're all in, and they're going to call with their jack. They had the same hand, jacks with an ace. So both of those are overvaluing their hands. I want to look at what they had. We're not calling. Well, no, not a three bet. So we're seeing a lot of three bets here. What did they, that last hand? So C2 had, yeah, they had a good hand. Ace, queen, jack, eight. That's not great. They three bet with it. I mean, it's a reasonable three bet hand. Seat one had ace, queen, jack, two double suited. Yeah, that they did it right. They weren't, nothing was egregious there. They did it right. They hit top pair. They both went hard with it. I think that was a little excessive, but like, what are you gonna do? They did it. So yeah, I don't know what I missed what seat four was doing there. This is a strong hand and we'll be playing it. I will do a three bet it. We've got a dry ace, so I'm just gonna call it. And we did not hit, so we're gonna let that go.
Nope.
Yeah, we missed pretty hard there. What's even worse is like we do have technically a backdoor straight draw, but like it's a bad one. We'll be at the ass end of it.
Well,
We need a two and a four to come.
We can hang in. We get another free card.
Well,
maybe.
yeah, we
Well,
get a free card about it, and if I was gonna say if it's anything but a heart, we're toast, and we are absolutely toast here. We can't put another chip into this pot, and certainly not a pot. We certainly can't call a pot size bet to what is almost certainly at least a 10, probably a 5.
And there's no way to bluff as well. You can bluff that you had fives. I
No,
guess,
you can't. I could bluff if it had been checked around. I could have bluffed because I was in position, but I don't really like bluffing with no equity, and I especially don't like doing it multi-way.
Okay. Yeah.
So here we go. We have and here's a
you got
three
too many
bet.
chances for someone to call you and call you on your BS. Yeah.
I don't think this is a hand we can call a three bet with, and we'll let that go. And I was right. One of them's got an ace. They might have two of them.
I mean, it's just so hard. It looks so solid.
It is a good hand, but it's not a three bet good hand. It's not a good. It's not a cold calling a three bet hand, or maybe I brought in. But like, yeah, it's not good enough for a three bet. It's pretty marginal. And this person has aces. They have ace. I know it. At least they might have ace king, but at least top two. Here, I think they had ace. And I think seat two had an ace. And yeah, I'll put it's heads up. I'll put a little more money in this pot. Do that. I'll call you. They've been a little loose with that. We did hit a pair, so we're not going anywhere. I'm gonna bet pot. Well, now we might not go anywhere because we don't have a lot of equity, so we'll let that go. It's a pot size bet.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, they've been pretty loose with their three bets, but I think they've just been. I think they just had pretty good hands, but they are loose post flop. They're going hard with marginal hands post, but like we didn't have equity. We still need equity, so I would have been okay bluff catching them. They're gone now. I would have been okay bluff catching him, but like you have to have a bluff catcher. You have to have something. We have top pair and a little bit of equity. We got some straight draw, so I think I can. I'm not gonna c bet this. I'm gonna check and see what they do because I'm out of position. I'm in early position here, and I'll be calling anything that's bet here. I'm not going to give that up. But if they check it around, like, we'll see. And I do have, shit, I have the nut flush blocker and I should have played it like that. I think I'm going to check raise here. So we're going to go ahead and check raise with our nut flush blocker. And we're going to start bluffing here. We do have top pair, though, so we're okay. And we have top pair,
It's not a
top kicker.
complete bluff.
And we do now have a nut straight, so I'm just going to go ahead and bet the pot.
There we go.
We want them to call. They're going to go all in, and we're going to take that. They probably have the nut straight also. Yeah, they do. Oh, no, we did. Great. They gave us our chips. Yay! Great. Thank you, seat 4. They must have had two pair. Let's check it out. Two pair or a set. They had a pair of 10s with a straight draw. Yeah, fuck, that was loose of them. So now we have to now we know. We have to be real careful with our bluffs post, and we have to, we just have to push that pot when we've got the strong hand, really. And I think we can go for relatively thin value. Like they're going hard with pairs. So yeah, I think I'm going to call this. I'm not going to raise it. And we did flop a straight, so we'll be betting that. Let's go ahead. There's no, I mean, 10 jack beats us, but we do have the queen. So like, I'm going to go ahead and bet half pot because I'm not really afraid of this board. There's not a lot that can come that can hurt us, so I do want to keep the money in the pot. So if we can keep, I'm okay going multi-way. Yeah, we have the straight. We flop the straight. It's not the nut straight. 7 jack. No, it is the nut straight. We have the nut straight right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and still bet half pot. We'll just go a little over. We'll go 10 and see what they do. So we want to keep them in. We're going to go ahead and do that, which means they have something. I'm going to go ahead and put them all in because I have the nut straight. So we'll see if they call. Thank you. Well, this is just lovely. And they have a nit, but I don't even know what the fuck this player is doing here. Both of these players are playing weird. They're playing weird in a way. Now we have 5s and 4s. We're out of the hand, but like we also would have had a real solid straight draw there. So I would have been playing this hand pretty hard, but we're out of it because it's a terrible hand. We didn't play Jack 5-3-2 rainbow. Like, and I am really curious about seat 1 and seat 4 here. I mean, we marked them as a nit, but that wasn't a nitty play at all. I want to see what they had. I don't think we're going to see because they did fold. Yeah, they folded, so we can't see until after we're out of it. Like here, one of the cool things about this site is after you're out of the game, you can look at your hand histories and they'll show you what every player had every hand. So I can go through my hand histories and find out what they ultimately had and what they were.
After the game's over?
Yeah. After we leave the table, you can do that. Yeah, it is great. And I don't think a lot of people that play on this site know that. I don't think they know that even like because it'll even show the hands that were called. Like at Showdown, if they muck, you can still see their hand. And so I don't even think people know that you can check that with the hand history. That's one of the reasons I like playing on this site. It's just a little advantage you can get. I'm going to go ahead and call this because we do have a pair of 9s and they're all in the neighborhood. And we did hit us. We did flop the nut straight. So we're going to check that and check raise that and see what they do. Because we weren't the pre-flop aggressor. And so now I am going to bet it. And I am going to bet the pot because I don't want those hearts to come. And so we're going to see what they do. Yeah, they're just going to fold. Flopping nut straights helps, you know.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps to have strong winning hands. But like the fact that they're calling them down is great for us. So pair of queens.
Nothing.
Yeah, we're in the small blind. Honestly, I'm just going to let that go. Like there's no point here. Like there's only playing. I mean, yeah, we would have had a really strong hand here, but like honestly, we're doing fine. Our strategy is doing fine. We don't need to loosen up in early position at all. Like I don't even on the button. I might not have even played that. It's
Yeah.
just those are pretty bad queens.
It's yeah, it's not as good as you might think it is. Again, Texas Hold'em, decent,
Yeah.
really good hand, but no.
Well, yeah, you have to think like here's the thing that people don't think about. Like when they play Omaha coming from Texas Hold'em, they're used to like the ranges of Texas Hold'em, and they're used to like a strong pair being enough to win pretty much a pot. Like you can win if you get to showdown with a strong pair, you're gonna probably win the pot. Like you're more likely than not to win. And so that's the thing you can do in Texas Hold'em. In Omaha, the minimum to get to showdown and win is top 2 plus, really. And that depends on whether the board's dry or wet. And so if you got a wet board and you don't have like, you're way better off. Like even sets get cracked a lot in Omaha. And
Mm.
so people think that like they're used to having Texas Hold'em where they only get 2 cards, and they're like they have to fold all their offsuit cards, and they're playing. Well, they even play 2 loose anyway, but like so they see like King Jack offsuit and they're like, yeah, that's a good Texas Hold'em card. And they justify. Remember, like these players, they're always looking for reasons to play in the hand. They're always looking for a reason to play. They want to play. So, like,
Yeah.
they will play loose ranges because they'll justify it to themselves. They'll be like, Jack King's good, and 6-7 suited's good. So, like, that's a good hand, but it's not a good hand. Like those are 2 separate. When you separate them, those are, if you see 2 and 2 and you're thinking like that, and like you can be like, oh well, I've got 4 cards, so I've got a bigger chance to hit, which is true. But what they forget is that everyone also has 4 cards. Like it's
Yeah.
like, so you have to fold at the same ratios. Like, and that's the same thing with 5 card PLO, which I've been kind of getting into too. Which is just, it's the same, because that's a game where everybody just shoves all their chips in the pot all the time and like tries to catch stuff, and it's like, because they're playing 4 card Omaha, and like 5 changes the game because like everyone's got a suit every hand. Like you can't have 5 cards and not have a suit. We
Mm.
will bring this up even though it's rainbow, and there's a 6 there, but it's reasonably strong, and we're heads up here. And we did miss, but we're going to see bet anyway because we like those kings. And so we're going to go ahead and actually what we're going to do is we're going to check raise because we do have a straight draw. So they're going to, and we definitely hit our straight. So now we have the ace. I'm going to bet pot. And I think they're just going to fold unless they flop the full house, which they didn't. So, but I didn't want to let them chase their clubs, even though I had the nut blocker. I don't think that was a factor. People are scared. I mean, if you see 2 kings and a 10 on the board, like you're scared if you don't have any piece of that. If you're
Yeah.
calling something marginal. Yeah. And they shouldn't have had much of that if they had, if they didn't raise, maybe a loose, like a rando king, king X, possibly. And so we're not in this hand, so we can let that go. And I don't want to leave this table. I'd have to pee though. I'm coming up on break time, but like I think we can see a couple more. I feel like I don't want to sit things out because I'm afraid everyone's gonna leave. We might have to reboot the table and start back with 100 big blinds, but that's okay. We're up for sure. So we definitely overcame our pregame deficit there.
That's for sure. Yes.
And let's see a free roll here with this garbage hand.
Ugh.
Yeah, sure. We get a free roll here. Thank you very much. And look at that. We hit a pair. So, and a backdoor flush draw and a strong straight draw. We're going to go ahead and donk this because we're playing against a weak player here. And so we'll see what they do. Yeah. We're going to donk this against this weak ass player to our left. We're just going to keep doing that to them. I think if they let us get a free roll, we're just going to shove chips at them until they push back, kind of no matter what we have. It's kind of what well, maybe not that loose, but like definitely we can push them around because they've shown just displayed erroneous play over and over and over again, overvaluing marginal hands and like being scared. Like, yeah, they're not a very good player there. So we're glad to have them to our left. That's a great player to have to your left. They are. I'm gonna reassess them as a fish. Like I know I gave them a knit mouse. I'm gonna give them the fish again, and I'm gonna say my overvalues. So
You need to remember to sit out and go pee.
I know I'm thinking about it. I think I'll
But
do that
that's right.
right now.
You don't want to lose this table.
Oh, we got a new player, so that's perfect. So let's do that right now. I'll come back and I'll give it a. Do you want to stay and keep it alive, keep the dream alive, or should I put the break
Yeah,
screen on?
keep it going. I'll
Keep the dream alive. You don't need to do the same.
No, I'm good for now. Plus, I can always
All
leave while
right,
you're playing. So
that's true. All right, I'll leave the stream up. Why?
okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what
Take
we
my
can
take my
watch here that
mid
we think
show
get better
break.
than. Okay. I haven't really been paying that much attention today. We got 2 checks on this one. It doesn't say who's big or small blind. Okay, we got the small straight going here. Still checking. Nobody likes this one. Nobody's got anything. Let's see who bluffs the jack, huh? There's no flush draw. They had a pair of 7s. Oh, they did have a straight. Okay, well, good. It's odd that they never bet it. They never bet it the whole time. Got a full table. This is going to make Amanda excited. Amanda did tell me, and she's going to kill me if she hears that I said this. The camera is currently pointed straight at her bathroom. So when she gets up and goes, like if she doesn't turn her camera off, there's a chance that the thing will pick her up. But she did it before on accident when we were just on the call before and before the show, and it didn't show anything, but it was very funny. She was very panicked. She's like, "Oh my god, I just realized that the camera's pointing directly into the bathroom." Fun little behind the scenes anecdote of Amanda's life there. All right, we got a big bet from our seat 4 and seat 1 is calling. I don't see anything on the board, but maybe they've got something that I don't know going on. Maybe they've got a set of something. It's got to be around the jacks. I guess it could be straight related, huh? They're still betting decent. Oh, that was a call. Okay. I'm thinking 4's got it. I'm wondering if 1 has a better hand though. These thing or 4's thinking about they fold, so they didn't have it. 15's a decent sized bet. Yeah, 1's probably gonna fold in this too, aren't they? They called and they lost. Amanda has said that she's back, but she's not on camera or mic yet. I'm kind of curious to see what seat 1 had in that last hand, but
I am back.
you are.
Let's see what seat 1 had. We're not going to know because we weren't.
Not the last hand, but the hand before. Yeah.
We can't because we weren't in the hand, so we can't see it. If we're not playing in the hand, it won't show us. And they have to. It has to get to showdown, and it didn't. They folded. They folded to a bet. Oh no, they did. They went to showdown, but we weren't in the hand, so we can't see it. And we now have a suited ace, but a 2 and a 7 offsuit is really bad. So we're gonna check that and hope we can just get a free roll here. Because this is a fine hand to free roll, but like if any money, real money, and we have a full ring too. And look at that, we got limpers. We got limpers. Let's see a free roll here, baby. Give me a family. They should be raising if they have any sort of hand, and they didn't. So we did hit top pair, and so we can.
Okay, we got the top pair. That's
And we got
nice.
this player that bet one big blind. Whenever someone does that, that means they have a marginal hand. So we are going to raise it, and we're going
Yeah.
to raise the pot on principle.
On principle alone.
On
You
principle.
limp in our
Fuck your
sleep.
min
You take the
click
money.
fucking one big blind bet. Fuck you. Fold. That's what I thought,
Folding.
you weak fuckers.
Oh.
Doesn't matter what I got. Fuck you. When someone does that, they almost always have like a middle pair or a low pair. They caught like a
Uh-huh.
piece of the board, and that's almost, they never have top pair. It's always a made hand that's worse than top pair. That's what that always is. And that's why they do it. They're like, well, I've got something, and so maybe I can just, get some people to fold out, and then I can see what everyone else has. And it's like, yeah, you can do that, but you have to bet more than like one big blind to do it. Like it's like you gotta put a third in there, honey.
You're just like
A
basically
quarter.
giving away
Yeah,
your
it's like,
money
yeah.
again.
Because you're just telling me what you're doing, It's like, and that's okay, but it's fine.
We'll take
It's
it. We'll
fine.
take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. We're doing well here. So I don't want to get too cocky because that's how I punt my stack. So like I still gotta be careful. I don't wanna give it away. And we do have new players and they're not showing me anything real impressive. I think seat
No, and
four is
they've
still
had
the same
minimal stacks.
player.
Threes coming up, but they both had minimal buy-in. So
Oh, three bought in for 32.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, they just
So
doubled up.
they're actually probably one to watch a little bit because they're building it up.
That's cool. Yeah, okay. We'll take it. We'll keep an eye. We got our weird fish over here doing weird
Yeah,
fish stuff.
it was basically what Charlotte was saying earlier. Is it scarier somebody who's got the big stack or the person that had the small stack that has been slowly building it up? Which is the player you need to watch out for more.
Well, yeah, you want to watch out for every player, and like you want to watch every player and how they play, and you treat them accordingly to how they play. And so you have to do that with every player. It doesn't matter. Like, who are you most scared of? I'm most scared of good players, and I don't see any here. So it's when I see a good player that's making good bluffs and like playing well, like that's what scares me because like I don't want to go up against them. I can probably keep pace with them, but I don't see the point. And the other thing about that is like usually when you run into one of those players, this poker is see, no, I'm not gonna do it. We're in the small blind. Poker
Okay.
is a game where game recognizes game in that. And so like when I see a player that's playing well, I mark them and they presumably if someone's playing like on the level where like they're paying attention, they know what they're doing, they're making bluffs, they're thinking about their hands, their hand reading. You can always tell. But after not too long, like they're folding when they're supposed to fold, they're not just calling every hand. They've got a good VPIP. They're just making good solid decisions. When you
Yeah.
see that,
Yeah.
generally they see that you're doing that too. And what players tend to do in those situations is just kind of try and avoid pots with the other player, just kind of taking turns, taking money from the other players at the table. That's especially true in like live games. Like you can
Uh-huh.
always like there's a rule with live poker that if you go around in orbit and you don't know who the fish is, you're the fish and you should leave the table. Like
Yeah.
yeah. If you haven't spotted the fish, you're the fish. Get the fuck out. Like cash your chips out and go to a softer table. Don't play. Go home that day and play Fallout. It's like just
The fallout.
don't do it because there's no reason to it. Like a lot of players will think like, oh, there's a good player here, so I'm gonna see I'm gonna test my metal. It's like you don't need to test your metal. Like that's not what this game is about. This game isn't about like going like a battle of wits. This game is about winning money, and the way you want to win money is by playing against weaker players. So it's like when I'm playing chess, I would like to play a better player because that's going to improve my game. Like I want to be a better chess player. And if I play a slightly better than me chess player, the game's competitive, but I can still have a chance. The game's competitive, but I'm probably going to get beat and I'm going to learn something when I play them. And so that's what you want to do. But when you're playing poker, like for money, and especially like life-changing stakes, if you get to that, you don't want to play against good players. You want to play against terrible players and take their money.
Mm.
Like you can practice off screen, like that's what studying's for, and that's what you do. And like I've been working with ChatGPT a lot with my game off screen, and it's been helping. ChatGPT is a great poker coach, and so if you want to learn how to play poker, honestly, just tell give ChatGPT the instructions that it's a professional poker coach, and it will do that job, and it knows what it's talking about. Like, it's got the access to all the solvers and all the things, and it knows, and like it is good and it makes sense. I've been working with it a lot. I've just been getting into Chat GPT a lot lately anyway. I've been just diving into AI. People shit on it and they're like, oh, AI sucks, it's stupid. It's like, no, it's really, really powerful and really, really useful. And we have aces here, so I am gonna three bet.
Yeah.
We've got position, and we do have aces. Those are terrible aces. It's about as bad as aces get, but it's still aces. And so you can't not play aces here. I'm playing the aces, and so even if they four bet me here, I have to call. But they didn't, and so I do have the advantage here. We do block the 8. We block the nut flush, so I'll be betting this hard with my aces. I'll be betting pot. Depending on what they do. I mean, they called a 3 bet and they're gonna min click. So yeah, I'm betting pot. And that might be a trap. That could be like if they come over the top and they bet me on top of that.
That's
Yeah,
a
no.
trap.
Yeah, fuck
That's
you.
a
It's
trap.
not. They hit a 7 is what they did. They hit a 7 and they had weak clubs. That's what they had. Fucker. 1 big blind into 20 big blind pot. Eat my whole ass.
Whole asshole.
Lick the shit out of my asshole, seat 5, you fucking dumb fish. I'm gonna mark
Oh,
you.
I didn't realize we were gonna go that hard into it. Oh.
Okay. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I should be thankful.
That was a
Min
lousy min.
clicker. That's all I need to say. All right. That 5 sucks, and we're out of position.
Really hating the 5. You're playing
Uh,
very conservative now. That's
Early position, yeah. Yeah, I am. And because you
perfect
have to.
position.
Marginal hands aren't good. And especially when we've got loose players like this. Like it's like
It's
now's the time to like you tighten up and you can play loose on the button and maybe in the cutoff a little bit. But you need to have position. You can't play loose hands. Like I mean, we would have hit a real strong flush here. We probably would have been good. But you can't bet on that. That's a marginal hand. Like the 5 sucks. Like the 5, you have to have all 4 cards. Now, yeah, the 5's paired to the queen, but like now look at this. Now look at this. Now we lose to our full house. It's like and people play aces, or we win to 3 aces, which is like the nice thing. So there's a raise, there's an ace. Seat 1 has an ace, possibly a full house. And seat 5's going to call because seat 5 also has an ace but does not have a full house. So seat 1's got an ace. They're
oh
going to bet
check.
the
No,
pot.
does not have it. Seat
No,
5 does
seat
not
5's
have it.
they have an ace. They don't have a full house. Seat 1's got
Are
a
they
full house.
are they gonna
Seat
check raise?
5
Is
is
that what
going to
they're gonna
call.
do on
Nope,
here?
they're going to fold, and we're not going to know.
Oh.
I promise you, seat 1 had a full house. I promise you. I think they both had an ace.
As long as you promise.
Well, maybe one of them had a weak flush. Like that could be too. But I think they both had an ace. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's real bad. I'll take a free roll. Because like it is. I mean, it's. I'll even call that min click. Like I think I will call just to see because it's a low rundown. It's not as bad a hand as you might. It's not a good hand, But
Yeah. Okay.
it's worth one big blind to see if we spike a 3 or flop the wheel. You know, and we do not. Our pair of threes with a 2 blocker is not good. So we will not be going any further than this. Yeah, definitely
Although
not
we've
for
come
pot. Hey, what's up,
the
Alexis? You made it.
road.
Glad to see you
Alexis,
there.
hi, hon.
Yeah, we love you, Alexis. Hey, Alexis, how short are you? How soon? We're all dying to know.
Alexis has just just about 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks.
It's getting short, getting short. You gonna get it the fuck up before the 4th of July? Just in time. Uh, I can't. It's a small blind. It's a small blind. That 5 sucks. Same thing as last time. A very similar hand to the one we folded before. Yeah, of course we flop a full house, which is always possible. Is the thing. It's like you can say, "Oh, you should have played. You'd had a full house." But we were at a full house with a 3.3 big blind pot, and like probably not much else going on. We maybe could have got some money, but like I mean, you can flop quads with any hand can flop quads. So like that doesn't tell you anything. And now see,
Hmm.
this is a hand that like also is like it's like, well, you might think this is a bad hand, but this is actually a good hand because we've got a pair of nines, we've got a suited 9-6, and we've got a rundown here. So we've got a single gapper rundown with the top end being a pair. So like this is a reasonable hand to play, especially on the button. And so even with a bring in, we're going to call this hand. We're not going to 3-bet it, but we will be playing this hand. And they're not sure what they want to do. Seat 5 is deciding whether they want to limp or they're just away from the table. Yeah, they just need to go to the bathroom and get a bag of potato chips or something. They had to answer the door. Their taquitos were ready. And we did spike our set of nines, so we're good to
Oh,
go
nice,
here.
nice. I love
And
that.
so we'll see what 26 does. We're going to bet pot because we don't want the hearts to come, and they're going to bet, and so we're going to actually pot them right back. They're probably
Two
going to
potting it.
fold. They're going to call. We do have a full house, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. We're going to see 9.4. We're going to call, and we're good with our full house, and we're going to take the pot. We're going to take all their chips.
I was hoping it was bigger. We're at 357, which is that feels nice, but
I'm always happy to win a pot, wins all of someone's chips, and they brought back in for the minimum, so you know
again.
that's okay. Yeah, it's a weird strategy. I don't really get it. It's a it's definitely you know they're not studied. They didn't study. They're
Okay.
playing in the way they learned how to play through experience, which you can become a decent player, but you're not gonna beat someone who studies. You're just not. You can like not in the long run is what I'm getting at. It's like of course I
Yeah.
can. I'm losing. I don't have a win rate. I can't talk like I'm a losing player. Like I've been on a fucking 6 week down streak. Hopefully this is turning it around. It's feeling good. I won yesterday too, so like yeah, so like maybe my losing streak's over. I'm sure hope so. I
I was
can
gonna say that. Otherwise, that's why
yeah.
we call it mediocre poker.
That's exactly why we call it mediocre poker because I am not yet a pro. I'm pretty fucking mediocre. I'm good. I'm good, but I'm not great. I'm not profitable yet. There are many players better than me. Though I'm learning and I'm getting better every time. And yeah, we'll be playing this. The two's dangling, but it works with the ace, and it's a dry ace. Yeah, this is a little loose, maybe in early in the hijack, but I think we're okay. Yeah, and we've now got position, so we're super okay. And we do spike that ace, so we will go ahead and yeah, that's we'll bet pot. It's a really good for our range as the pre-flop aggressor and really bad for their range. So ace king is just good for the pre-flop aggressor's range. Always. King, king, 4-6 with a suited king. We'll be playing this one for sure. Let's take a look here. Let's see if seat 2 brings in. Are you going to limp? No. We're going to limp the small blind. Wait, no, they're going to limp the button. We're gonna pot. We're gonna bring in. We're gonna make them call us here. We're gonna go ahead and take the lead in the betting. Get some chips in the pot with our kings. See if they call. I mean, if you're gonna limp, you're almost always gonna call in position. It'd be weird if they didn't. So that an ace did come. So an ace 10 is that's kind of good for our range. It's kind of not. We don't have the ace. And we have kings. So what we're going to do is we're going to check it back to them and we're going to see what they do. Because that is kind of good for their range. They could easily have good straight draws and like a set of 10s, set of 8s. They could have easily hit 2-pair here. We will call with our kings and our backdoor flush draw. But now that 6 came, our hand got worse. We don't have hearts. I don't think we can go farther if they put money in the pot. They could easily have an ace, which beats us, and they're betting pot. They could easily they've got us beat. Our kings are no good here. We're gonna let that go.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Failed too bad. No, that's how you play. You got to play your hands.
Yeah.
That's nothing to lament. We played that well. We called at the right time and we folded at the right time, and that's how you play poker. We minimized our losses. We weren't about to give up on a pair of kings, but like once it became untenable, then
yeah,
that's an easy decision. That's what we want. We want easy decisions. It's the tough spots that make it hard. Tough spots are what you don't like. You don't like hard decisions. I'd much rather have an easy fold over than a tough call. It's like those are rough. This is a bad hand. We're gonna get rid of that. We got a limper here. We got limpers at the table, so we can tell that seat 3's got a capped range. Everyone has a weak range because everyone limps, so no one's got much of anything. So these middle cards are going to be good. Someone could easily have a 7. Someone could have a flop the full house because they're playing 7 jack. It's like there's a lot that these when middle cards come like this and it's limpers, then that's the kind of range that hits their range. So. And this is not a good hand, so we'll let that go also. Even on the button, that's not a good hand, so we're not even going to entertain it. Especially multi-way. Seat 1's limping. They got their stack back up. Seat 1 got a stack back up, so they won from somebody. And now seat 2 brought in. Now remember, they were limping earlier. So when they bring in, we know they've got something. Seat 1 just limped 4-bet, or limp raise, limp 3-bet. And they cold called. So seat 1's almost certainly got aces here. That is not good for anyone's range. So their aces are probably pretty good. They're saying, I've got a pair of 10s. They're going to be like, I don't know. They have 3 10s. What did they link? They limp 3-betted with queen 10 10 4. Rainbow. Fuck, that's bad. This is a weird fish here. What did seat 2 3-bet and call with? They called with a good hand. They had Jack Jack Queen King with a pure suit. So that was a very strong hand that seat 2 had. Seat 1 was just playing stupid. I mean, they're playing. They don't know what they're doing. They just don't know what they're doing. This is not good enough. Seat 1's a weird fishy maniac. They're hard to peg.
Maniac. I haven't heard you label somebody a fishy maniac before.
Well, you don't see players like that all too well because they're nitty in a weird way. They're folding hands, but they're overvaluing bad hands, and then they're betting hard with marginal hands. It's just really fishy way to play. It's like this person I don't think has played a lot of Omaha. They're clearly a Texas Omaha player. That's probably not very good at that either. And like they're coming over here thinking in terms of Texas Hold'em. That's why they went hard with that hand. So they had Queen 10-10-4. Now, if you're thinking in terms of Texas Hold'em, you're looking at, I've got a pair of tens. That's strong in Texas Hold'em. That's a strong hand. And I've got Queen 10 suited. So the 4 I can do because the rest of my hand makes up for that 4. But like, and then they 3-bet it. They check, they limp 3-bet that hand, which is extra wild. Like, and so it's like, that's a crazy thing to do. But if you're playing Texas Hold'em, like it's the only thing that makes sense is like I think I have a way better hand than I do, or I'm gonna bluff this really super marginal hand. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm betting this. These are decent kings. They're not great, but I do have a suit, even though it's dirty. And I don't have any straight draws here. So these are not great kings, but they're still kings. And I'm okay with it. These are not 3-bet calling kings. Absolutely not. I'm gonna let that go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Nope. I have a dirty suit and I had no straight draws. Now here I will bet too. Also, even though I'm in low jack, the suited ace and the Broadway and the 5 usually I would call a dangler, but that works with the ace to give me a good wheel draw. So I've got a wheel draw, a Broadway draw, and a suited ace. So this is a good hand and a good hand to play. And so if they 3-bet, we will call. I will call a 3-bet with this hand. I won't raise it. Well, no, it's not quite good enough to 4-bet bluff, but it's close. Like if that 5 was a club, I would 4-bet bluff this hand.
Okay. Oh, I was just handed a mushroom and bacon risotto stuffed mushroom.
Oh, look at that pretty. Look at that pretty.
It's very pretty. I do need to photograph.
Are you gonna eat on camera?
I...
Everyone loves it.
Let's see if I can get a good photo here.
Let's see what C5 does. You get your photo. I'm gonna play poker.
Yeah. I think that's probably the smart play here.
I'm watching seat 5 here. They're just gonna fold to me. I'll take it. Oh, it took fucking long. This is a weak ass hand. Fuck it. This hand sucks.
Fuck it.
You know, I gotta say, it's an extra shame that my MAGA Trump Nazi sister is turfy, because since I've been on my hormones, I look fucking exactly like her. Like, I just look so much like her. Like, and it's just like, oh, you had to ruin that. She could have been cool. She could have been cool, and she decided to be a piece of shit.
Well, now you've come in as the cool replacement for her.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna free roll this dog shit hand. Thanks, idiots. And look at that. I spiked trip aces.
Holy jeez.
So I think I'll be taking this pot. This is a check raise hand, by the way. I'm gonna check this.
We need an 8.
What if they bet? What are they doing? They're just letting their clock run down. They don't know what they're doing. I'll check it. That was an auto check there. Although they're both done. Here, watch this. They're gonna fold. No, they auto checked. They check. They hit the check fold button. Now they spiked a 10. So now a straight came. This is a weird ass fucking hand with these weirdos. Like, Jack King is a winner. Queen 10-10 7-7's a winner. I'm checking calling. with this weird ass fucking hand and these weird players. I will call your pot size bet, but I'm not fucking betting into this. I win. What a bunch of weirdos. What a bunch of fucking weirdos. You don't understand these players at all. Yeah, I just like they're it's like, why? Like, what are they doing?
So
But they're not playing well, so I'll take it. Yeah, go on.
Alexis did answer us. 10 days left.
Woo!
She just had her shop sale. Sold about half the stuff in her shop, which is
nice.
Great to be unburdened.
That's fantastic. That. Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, super congrats, girl. I'm happy for you. Yeah, fucking America. It's a weird place.
Fucking America, exactly.
I get my YouTube channel going and start making money so I can get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I should finish my Coursera course and probably still try to find a job. It's like I just don't want a fucking job. I just don't want a real I don't want a corpo job. I just don't want to fucking do it. Like I hate everything about it. But I do need money. That's like
that's the damn thing.
It's the most reliable path to it, but like I just feel like there's a way I could get paid doing what I do instead of like where I'm actually valued for like what I can actually do as opposed to like doing some bullshit shit I hate that they don't want me there and I don't want to be there. I feel like there's a better way than that. And I'm still trying to find it. I think I've got a line on a YouTube channel that could actually make money. And so I'm going to get to work on that, I think, starting after Jabe's birthday. Because I'm pretty preoccupied with that. But once that weekend's over, I have to get to work on building that YouTube channel. Okay. And so I've got I play a lot of Forza Motorsport. And I told you, I think we talked about that on Being Trans a little bit, but like one of the things in Forza is a giant aspect of it is tuning the cars. And it's a really daunting thing for people that just want to race their cars, but it can be really valuable. Like if there's references, and there just aren't a lot. Like I've really looked for it, and like there aren't any good tuning references out there, and I've gotten really good at it. And so I think I'm just gonna make a Forza tuning page and just like, hey, I'm tuning this car, and there's so much you can do with it because if I get people watching, I can have like the Patreon and thing, and like the things that I can offer is I will tune whatever car you want. You know, that will be the thing that I can do. I'll tune your car that you want me to tune. I'll buy the car and I'll tune it. And then if I get really popular, people will buy me the gear that I want. And then I can just be a professional virtual race car driver.
Car tuner.
Which would be great for me. I would love that. And what a weird life that would be, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm.
My friend
and Charlotte's not wrong, yeah.
My friend made a ton of money playing beta stuff of like EverQuest and things like that, and World of Warcraft, and just leveling up like crazy and getting all kinds of cool weapons and stuff, and then just selling them.
Yeah.
For lots of real money.
Yeah, I know there's a way to do that stuff too, where it's like you can sell cars on Forza too. And that's like I can soup up a car, but like I mean that's the thing is like there's games like that where it's like if I was more into the MMORPG, or if like I played Elden Ring and I got some like really fucking crazy ass shit, you know, I'll bet you. But like there's games that are like that. Like I mean Fallout's kind of like that where you could do that maybe. And I think you have to be in Reddit threads, and I think Reddit threads are the way to go. But it's like, see, that's the part that I'm not good at because I'm not I don't like social media and I don't like doing all that stuff. And that's where I'm really lacking with it because it's like, and I know this is a little bit of a loose bet, but I'm calling because it's a suited ace, a pair of sevens, and like, this is at the low end of my bring-in range on the hijack here. I'm going to talk to Annalise tonight because if she's going to do that stuff with us, then I'm going to maybe get her to do it for me too. Be like, hey, look, you make me money, I'll give you money. And that's good for us. We did hit our flush draw, so we're going to go ahead and c-bet that. And we're going
How's
to
our
go ahead
straight
and
looking? Is that's still not?
we
No,
have a
it's
straight draw too. Yeah, we actually have good equity here. I'm gonna go ahead and make a larger size bet here. Yeah, we have a straight draw. If we got shot straight, we need a 5 to make the straight, but we do have a pair of 7s. We got the nut flush draw and a gut shot straight, so we're in good shape here. And we did spike the ace, so our hand just got better. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the 2/3 bet again. We'll do 16. It's a little over 2/3 there. Keep that going. They'll probably flow. They're gonna call. And we have aces and 4s. I think we're probably good. Unless they've got a full house, and in which case we lose. And they did have. They had aces and 8s, so they had a better hand than us, and that is okay.
Dead man's hand wins.
They called with a pair of 8s. I have to see what they had. This is a good hand we're bringing it in. I have to see what they had. They had what did they call my large bet on the pre with? They had 8 ace 9 8 2, and they had a pair of 8s and nothing else going, and they called it
until they hit the ace.
Yeah, well, and they hit the 8. Like, I mean, that just goes to show that, like, when we have to careful on the bluffs. We just have to pump the brakes on the bluffs and just like pour in money when we have equity.
Well, yeah, and we had a lot.
And
of
we had equity though.
I guess just
we had.
not,
I was
betting high enough. Maybe like if you did.
No,
you
there was nothing. They were going to call anything. I was betting.
Yeah.
I was betting large. Like they were going to call anything. Like, which is so. Yeah, this is no good. Equity here, that's for sure. And so, but yeah, well, like that just goes to show that like just bet large. I mean, I don't regret the way I played it. I had a lot of equity. Like I had a pair, I had top pair, I had 2 pair, I had the nut, I had a lot of nut draws. Like that was.
But it just reinforces the gameplay of when you've got it, bet high.
And that's where I'm at too.
Because like in poker, in Texas Hold'em, you want to kind of limp in a little bit to entice them to come in and think that they can beat you. So they're going to get them to bet. And then at the end you bet, and that's when you take the money.
It's all situational. It just depends. Like you can do that sometimes. Like everything's so situational. Like you're supposed to do that sometimes and you're supposed to not do that sometimes. And like, here we go. We got a pot size bet here. Now I have, once again, pretty solid draws here. So I am going to call.
But yeah, the point being that in PLO, you have so much more chances for them to hit good cards that you want to bet them out early.
And we did hit a pair of jacks that didn't help our hand.
Sort
and
of
actually,
the worst thing to help.
That actually, yeah, that really hurt our hand actually. But we still do have like, we do have, if a king comes, we've got the nut straight. But if a heart comes, we're in trouble. If they bet pot again, I think we got to let it go.
Yeah.
And they do. They could. They almost certainly have us beat here. So we're gonna. Oh, that sucks. We lost 2 relatively big hands to seat 2, and I don't like it at all.
Charlotte, I hear Charlotte giggling in the kitchen from the things that she's posting in chat with Alexis. Alexis is talking about enjoying an early retirement and just hanging out in a bikini, except when using the chainsaw. She put some clothes on for that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, Charlotte's right. I should just get a corpo job and just suck it up until I fucking get the fuck out of it. She's right. I should. It's the right thing to do. I hate the fucking idea of it. Everything about it I hate. Plus,
the main
like
thing
the whole.
I hate about it is I can do a corpo job. That's fine. I did it for 20 years. It's fine. I have no interest in the getting process. The
That's
getting
that's
process
it
right
for me
now
too.
just
It's
seems
like the
so.
whole process of getting it is so degrading, meaning and demeaning and horrible. Like because it's
Mhm,
like you have to like it's this constant. You have to put so much fucking time and energy into it, and then the end, what you get is a job you don't want. Like and like it's such so that I have
well, and
no incentive to do it other
yeah,
than money.
and ninety
You know,
percent of
which
the
is a good.
time, you look at it, you look at the job, you polish your resume and your letter to
Mhm.
that, and you put it, and you spend all this time on it, and you send it to them, and you're super hopeful, and you never hear a
Never
peep.
hear. Never hear a fucking thing. You just get ghosted by well, like I think half the time it's like I don't even think I think a good chunk of the even the postings are just fucking fake. I think
Mhm,
companies just make fake postings to see what they can get and they just fish. Like I don't understand like what I like the corporate mindset, the modern corpo mindset is so completely fucking foreign to me that like
mhm,
I don't understand it. Like I don't know how to plug into it. I don't know how to give them what they want. Like I don't know what they want. Like I don't know and I know I'm not it. I know
yeah.
no company wants no corporation that's behaves like a corporation wants me anywhere near them because I am very much against them and will be leaning on the throwing myself against the gears of the odious machine. Like,
Well,
you know, like,
and I think a lot of the corporate perspective is, we're doing you a favor by offering you
mhm.
the position,
We're giving
if
you this great opportunity and you better
yeah,
pretend like you feel the same way.
yeah,
Yeah.
the corporate ego is so overinflated that it
Mhm.
just really jacks up the whole experience and the whole
Well, just
process.
every phase of it is dishonest. Like it's every aspect of it is completely dishonest and I can't
Yeah,
stand it. I can't stomach that. Like, but I will. Charlotte's right. I just need to bite the bullet and do it. But it's
oh,
gonna
is she
wait till
talking to
after
you or
the.
to me?
Yeah, she was talking to me. Yeah, I think she was talking to me. I don't think. I think she could probably talk to you about that because I brought it up.
uh,
Yeah, I mean Charlotte's exactly right with the things that she's saying. It's like it is that. And the problem with it, Charlotte, is as soon as I commit to that, then that changes. Like it sucks up all my fucking time, and like
yeah,
that's what I hate about it because then I have less energy and time to dedicate to the things that can maybe get me out of it. But if I get the right corpo job, like especially if it's remote, which is what I'm gonna get, like then I can only actually do like 2 or 3 hours of work a day. That's what the job I had and when I worked for the state was like. It was like I figured out a way to like trim my work day to like actually like only the first 2 hours I was there I could get all the work I needed to get done and then I had the rest of the day to do whatever I still had to be there and pay attention and answer the phone, but like I didn't actually have to sit and do work all day. Like in fact, it was stupid to do that because I didn't get anything for it when I did. And I think any
yeah,
remote job I could get, I could do the job well enough that I wouldn't actually I could be getting paid for full time and only working about like, you know, I just have to be on the clock. I wouldn't actually have to be working. I could sit and do whatever I wanted.
yeah,
And like that's especially true if they and if I got a good enough job, I would get even a separate laptop. So like that could have my work laptop that they couldn't see what else I was doing. Like it would just be like, yeah,
double computering.
yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be on my computer doing what I my thing and then like doing, making videos and doing whatever. And then making art and doing cool shit and then like I'd answer the phone and like, keep my work computer clean and spyware, have them put all their spyware in it or whatever the fuck.
Charlotte's
I
talking
hate
about like remote jobs and stuff, and it's just like, oh, like I could totally do like a customer service thing, but like,
that
I,
requires constant attention.
but well, that I'd get in trouble with something like that for talking
Me
too
too.
long to people.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able because they just need you to be a robot at that shit and follow a script and like they're constantly monitoring you. It's like I couldn't deal with that for too long.
Yeah.
Like I don't want anything that I want something that's task based that like, hey, if you meet this bare minimum quota that we give you, then I can make the quota real fast and just be good at it and then just be done. And I could sparse it out and pace it out so it looks like I'm working harder than I am. There's all sorts of things you can do. Do I play this hand? Yes, I do. I do play this hand.
Should we play this
And
hand?
we do
Play
spike
some
our
poker?
three, so we're gonna check raise. Yeah, we're gonna check raise. And they're gonna fold.
Sweet.
Unless they've got, well, maybe not.
Uh-oh.
Well, they
Uh-oh.
might have, I mean, it's not unheard of that they could have two jacks, so we'll do the same thing. We'll check raise them again. There should be checking here because of that. That's okay. There's a lot of cards that can come that can hurt us. They're going to be pot. And I'm starting to be sketchy here because we do have a pair of threes, but
Well,
if
three
they've got
beers.
jacks, if they've got a pair of jacks there, we're drawing dead. And they could easily have hearts. They could easily have clubs. They could have. So I think I'm going to let this go. This is an overly tight player that hasn't been showing a lot of things. This is a tough decision. They could easily have jacks.
Yeah. For
I
some
think
reason,
I'm
I'm
going to let
thinking I
this
would go
go.
in, but I'd probably lose my money.
Well, I mean, we have a straight draw, but we don't have any of the flush. We don't have the right amount of equity to make this call. We just don't. And three trips are not as strong as they look. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna let that go. We'll wait. We'll get them next time. I want to. I want to make an easier decision with my chips.
But begin to fight another day. Yeah.
Yeah, they're betting pot at me twice after I check raised. I check raised and they called and then they bet pot. That's strength.
Mm. The
Look at that.
prosecco that Charlotte just cracked is giving her big bubbles. I'm hearing lots of bubbles in the background.
Hmm. Well, we lost about 80 big blinds in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're
I don't
down quite a
love
bit.
that. Yeah, we're up above 350 and now we're down to 270. Well,
So
that's
I
not
gotta
great.
sample
I
some more
don't think there
food.
were, yeah, I don't think there were bad decisions. I think it was just number weighing.
Oh, this is a terrible hand.
Yeah, it's real bad. Yeah, we're not going to be playing it. We got a bet here from seat 5, and so hand reading. Let's do some hand reading here since we're not in the hand. So we've got an uncapped seat 5. Actually, I'm going to call them capped because they didn't pot it. So they're probably a little capped. They probably don't have like their premium hands here. Seat 2 called, so they have a myriad of like loose Broadway scattered, maybe a single suit of something marginal. They're gonna see bet, and they've got a piece, maybe just a single ace. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Seat 2 folded. They didn't like the ace. I don't think they had an ace. They would have called had they had an ace. The ace scared them off. This is also a very bad hand, so we'll be folding it. And we'll see what this player does. They limp, so they don't have much. So they're definitely capped. They do not have strong hands here. They don't have your double suited, their double suited Broadway, your aces, your kings, your queens even. And they're checking, so they don't have any in position, so they don't have anything here. They probably don't have clubs. They're probably going to fold to this bet. If they call, they could have weak clubs. They could have, yeah, they're just going to fold to the single bet. Yeah, they just have nothing because they limped with peanut butter and jelly. They limped with garbage. Yeah.
Peanut butter, and garbage.
PBJ, that's what they're playing. So I put them on PBJ again because they're limping from early position. They've got nothing. Seat one is saying they have a strong range, so we're going to believe them. They're uncapped. They've been playing pretty loose ranges, though, and they've been overvaluing lots of hands. So, like, we're going to put them on a stronger range, but, like, not necessarily top tier, but possible. And we got a lot of callers, all of whose ranges are capped. So when you see, like, someone in late position bets and then everyone else just calls, their ranges are all capped, meaning they don't have the best stuff here. Now, they see bet with a king on the board and a 5, so they probably don't have a 5, but they could. They almost certainly have at least a king here, and maybe a king with diamonds would be believable. They could have a 5 if they were playing like 1-5 with an ace and a bunch 3 broadways and a 5, you know. This is a good hand, actually, and I'm going to bring it in.
Okay.
Even though it's an early position. So this is all connected, and we've got a double suit. So it's not a premium hand, but it's a strong hand, and that's good for our range. That's actually not that good for our range. It's good for everyone else's range. It's good for our actual range, but not even really, actually. We do have a backdoor. We have a gut shot straight draw, and that's about all we have. So I'm going to check back, and we'll call one. Well, not if it's a pot size bet. If it's a pot size bet, we'll probably leave. But they're going to check it back. We now do have jacks.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, it still doesn't. It's still nothing.
Yeah, it's not great. I think I'm just going to check call here.
Oh, you're even going to call it, huh?
Well, there's no need to put money in the pot. Like, we don't have much. And there we go. We have jacks and 5s. I think we probably got a hand here, but someone could easily beat us. So we're just going to go ahead and check it down and see if we can't win a marginal pot. Win a small pot.
Alexis brings up a story that's another part of all of that equation of like you can't get in to places often if you don't know somebody there. And then she had an experience where somebody was brought in and said, they were asked who it was that they knew, and then were told that if they screwed up at the job, if they didn't do well, then the person that got them the job, that the person they knew there at the company, was going to get fired as well.
Yeah.
And it's just
pretty
like,
awesome.
yeah, these companies believe like they're God's gift to
Everything.
humanity.
Yeah, and they suck.
Yeah, it's a privilege for you to work there and put up with their bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate everything about it. It's like I said, it's like I just want to wreck the place. I want to wreck the fucking I want to burn it all down. I don't want to work there. I don't want to help these people. Look at that. Oh. Oh. Spiked our set, but it was the bottom set on a wet ass board. I don't regret it. Yeah, our set's scary as fuck.
What's the
now,
wet
isn't
versus
it?
dry board?
So a wet board means the nuts can change with lots of cards can bring a change in nuts. So like here's right. So a wet board is like there's a lot of possibilities. Straights, flushes, full houses. Like those are all wet boards. Like so right now it's a wet board because it's the board is less wet because the flush came. So like the kind of it's more of a dry board, but it's wet in the sense that like a flush is the hand, like the nut flush is there. Likely that could change if the board pairs, and then the flush is no longer the nuts.
It's like a dry wine. It's wet but dry.
Yeah, exactly. A dry wine board. That's a good way to put it. A dry red. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm feeling like we could probably pump the brakes on this. We're up. We pretty much we crawled out of the gutter and we're up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and click out the sit out next big blind. We'll see another orbit here, and that's what we'll do. So yeah, we'll play to the big blind, and then I think I'm gonna chill. Yeah, we've been seeing we've been getting cooled a little bit, and we've been playing for a little while, and I'm about ready for lunch. Take the time before we play Border Trans. We played some good poker. We've made some good moves. I didn't make a lot of mistakes, and I feel pretty good about things. I made a couple mistakes, I noticed, but like the big mistake that we made, we got real lucky on. So I ran a bluff that I shouldn't have run, but it ended up working out. But I shouldn't have run it. I miscalculated it, and I caught it right away. And it's like I need to pay more attention to stack sizes. Like whenever you watch the pros, the first thing they tell you is what are the stack sizes. It's like so they're all looking at that. So I need to pay more attention to that.
Yeah.
And here's aces with a suit. So we'll be betting this. We'll be 3-betting this. 4-betting this even. We'll definitely be 3-betting. Now this is a hand where we could lose or make a lot because we're going to be going up against the bigger stack here. So this is it here. This is a big one already. Because we are gonna pot. We're just gonna wait a few minutes. We're gonna put a little Hollywood on here, make them think like I'm thinking about the 3-bet, so they don't know immediately that I have aces. I'm just gonna sit this one and I'm gonna think about it. And I'm gonna do it at the last second here. When it gets down to below 10, I think we'll go ahead and we'll here we are. Let's go ahead and we'll 3-bet there. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure if I want to 3-bet.
Don't know if this is a good idea.
Don't know if I really like my hand, but I like it. Let's see what you do. I want to keep you in. We're gonna call. It worked. And that's good for us because we do have the wheel draw. We have the nut flush blocker, and we have a pair of aces, and that's terrible for their 3-bet calling range. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a large size bet here. We're going to go about 15 here. We're just going to do a little bit over half. And see what they do. They're just going to hand it to us. We love that. We love that.
You know what? We really appreciate your money. Thank you so much. I just knocked
Yeah,
my
we'll
line from the
take it. We'll
controller.
take it.
Okay, this sucks.
Well,
that
yeah, this hand
gone
isn't
now.
quite good enough to call here. It's like it looks kind of good, but like it's not. That 3 sucks. That 3 blows. Just ruins everything.
Whale poop.
Yeah.
Just knocked my glass of wine over the entire desk.
Oh.
Now I'm smearing things. Crap.
Oh. Oh. I need to go food shopping.
Food shopping?
I'm not going to do it today. Today I've got the shows all day, and then I got poker tonight. So it's like, I ain't leaving the fucking
right,
house today.
You do
Yeah, we play
local
poker on Saturday
tutorials.
nights now. Yeah, I know. We're doing it. I got the kids coming over tonight. We're gonna play some cards.
No, I'm good. I got it. I got Bill and Marie's card all wet though.
Oh no.
And the controller for the TV. I got that wet.
Oh. That's it. The wedding's off.
Ruined everything.
Coming over here to my house, wrecking my remote control.
I didn't catch any of that, but that's fine.
I was just doing my bad Australian accent.
Oh.
Love you, Charlotte.
She says, love you too.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck jobs.
I
guess I gotta get
third time she's changed pants today.
Nice. No? Why not?
You just put them over the top. Are you getting cold, baby? Aw.
Oh, it's because it is cold by y'all's, isn't it? It's coming on winter. Yeah, you're in the
goddamn ridiculous.
You're late autumn, aren't you? Yeah. Poor thing.
And the thing that is the most ridiculous about the temperature here is that people tell me it's not winter. It's not winter yet.
They're scaring
and I'm like,
you.
That's stupid. That's stupid because
what is it at? What are you at?
It's already too cold for Southern California.
Well, yeah, it's cold it's everywhere's cold for Southern California always. That's why Southern California kicks so much ass.
I told somebody the other day that Southern California is like 22.5 degrees all the time, which is 73, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Izzy has been here for 27 years.
21.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, this girl, I tell her that Southern California is always about 22.5 degrees.
Yeah.
She tells me she has the gall, the audacity to tell me that 22 degrees is hot for Tasmania.
Oh, you're
And
fucked.
I tell you,
Oh, you're fucked, hon.
no. I say no. I reject all of this.
You moved to
No.
Bizarro, Canada, is what you did.
Wasn't the whole goddamn thing that we were saying, I don't want to move where we're going to be cold all the time? Wasn't that the whole
Oh,
point?
shit. You went and done it, though. You went and moved to the Antarctic Circle.
Of course, I don't think I want to be where Alexis is going as far as temperature, but
Isn't Hobart, like, super hot?
what's that?
Isn't she going to Hobart? And isn't Hobart super hot?
No, that Hobart's in Tasmania.
Oh, I thought
She's
Hobart
going
was, like, way north by, like,
no,
near
she's north
Thailand.
west. So, and apparently I think it's hot up there. So,
Mhm. I'm gonna get rid of this game. We're out. We're leaving the table today with 287.8 big blinds after dumping 43 in the pre. So we're up about 100 and I'd say about
30.
130 big blinds. So it's a good solid win today. Good solid take. We're gonna take it.
Mhm.
We're gonna call it good. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna leave the table. We're gonna keep that as is, and we're gonna keep this here. We can do the post game here. Emily, I love ya. What's your takeaway for today's playing today? I know you were a little ADHD today. You're a little distracted
I
brain.
I was pretty distracted today. I am feeling under the weather, and so like yeah, the focus is not just something that I have a good grasp on. I think that it was a lot of solid play. I think you were more conservative. I think your betting and where you were focusing on, when to bet, when to let hands go, even in your sort of showdown moments where you're getting close to the end, um, reading what they have, what they most likely have. I thought you did a really good job on that. That you played it conservative, and I think it shows in where we ended up today. I was a little excited. I was a little disappointed that we were so far under 300 at some point there at the end, but then you built it back up to
Yeah.
280, and I think that just shows a lot of disciplined play today. So I think this is the show to go back and review and say that
See what I did right? Yeah.
this is
Uh,
what you did right.
yeah. Instead of
I
reviewing that,
wanted
I
to
go on.
probably an offline conversation, but maybe we do it here. Um, you talked about being able to go back through and see everything that everybody had. I wonder
Yeah.
if there's um, a way to work that into either this or work it into the next show of like, okay, this is what we did here. This is what
Oh,
they
that's a
had. This
different
is how
thing,
it
and,
played out.
and that's reviewing hands. That's a whole process. That's what I'm doing with ChatGPT. It's like
Mm.
that's what I was doing, and that's when we were going to make that poker book that we never ended up doing.
Oh,
And
it's still on
that's
the burner. It's still on the back burner.
we can still do that. I'm just using ChatGPT for all that stuff now and having that do it. But like, I'm actually going to take a look here. I'm going to see what I can do. So I can actually can I look at hand history search and I can see what we did today. That's just
Yeah, I
for
just see that being a
games.
really good way of doing this educational portion of it, and
Yeah.
like maybe starting a show with here's the review of like these are two of our biggest hands. This is why we got beat. This is why we won. Like a hand that we did well in, a hand that we did poorly in, and show those two things, and then jump into the show. I think that could be a really good
We
way to
could
kind
do
of
that.
lead
We
in.
could do a review thing. We could do a pre-show kind of thing. I could definitely do that. Get that
Yeah,
ready.
like I
And
said,
that's
just like a particularly
uh,
good hand, a particular and a particularly bad hand, and why each of those were, I think would be a really good thing to start off,
sure.
and then yeah, review at the end how well we stuck to that to our game plan.
Yeah, we could do that. Hey, chat, tell us what you think of that plan, and tell us if you like it or if you don't like it. Let us know.
Oh, you
In
said
the
chat. I was thinking of Chat GPT when you.
No, I wasn't
You,
talking to
you,
ChatGPT. Like,
you're
yeah,
talking to your
I'm
chat to
talking
your
to our
Alexa.
actual, yeah, it's Alexis and Charlotte who are in the chat, and that seems to be it.
Oh,
Which is,
Jesus H beans. Alexa says
yeah,
the average temperature up there will be about 40 degrees,
yeah, it's nasty
which is
hot.
100.
Yeah, it's
Isn't that about
nasty hot.
100?
Yeah, I feel like that's close. That's up there. It's at least not high 90s. Yeah, yeah. 40's hot. 40's fucking hot. Yeah, it might be over 100 actually. Yeah, that's real fucking hot. That's Saudi Arabia hot. Well, 50 is like Saudi Arabia. 40
Well,
is
it's a
like,
good thing
yeah,
that
it's
Alexis
not,
has lots of,
it's Arizona hot maybe. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing Alexis has lots of bikinis.
Yeah,
Hopefully
it's
there's water
awesome.
near you, like a good lake or river, maybe some nice like dive, some nice pools for you, the natural pools or ocean, something. I think
Yeah,
40 is 103, says Charlotte, and Lexus
that
responds
sounds about right.
104.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you mentioned Arizona,
That's
and
that's Arizona hot. Yeah.
yeah, F Arizona. The thing is
Yeah,
that
Arizona sucks. I hate that state.
I was there at
I
one
like
point, and
Flagstaff. Flagstaff's awesome.
when you're somewhere and it's 95 degrees at midnight, what are you doing with your life? You're making poor decisions. Sorry, Lex. I I Yeah, because I think even when it's hot, like you can go out for a little bit and kind of enjoy it, like pools and stuff like that, the beach, a lake. It's possible. Whereas in when it's just that cold, there's really literally nothing you can do outside. It's just I did think that- Oh, apparently your audio is not in this frame in this scene, so they've heard none of this.
I apologize for that and I fixed it. So yeah, that's a thing we changed. Like I changed some parameters. Apologies. So what I was getting at was that the thing about like cold weather is you can always bundle up. You can always put more layers on and you can always do that. Now, whatever skin you have exposed is going to be in pain. But but
Yeah.
the thing about hot weather is you can't really do anything about it. Like you can only take clothes off until you're down to nothing and then if it's still hot, it's still hot. You can't cool down unless you're using air conditioning or something like that. But in a place like Arizona, like everywhere is air conditioned. And so I assume Hobart's similar in the sense that yeah, it's hot as fuck outside, but the places that you're gonna be are gonna have air conditioning, and you don't on the really hot days you don't go out in the middle of the day. You do stuff at night when it cools down,
Mm,
and
yeah.
I assume because that's what I know, that's what Arizona and Las Vegas is like it's like Las Vegas, it's like, yeah, it's hot as fuck during the day, but you're inside of a casino.
Well, and that was
It's
the
all
difference.
climate controlled. Yeah.
That was the difference with dating somebody who was from Texas and going and visiting out there versus Southern California.
Right. Texas is
Southern
actually hot.
California's
Yeah.
weather is almost always perfect. But the problem is, Southern California weather is almost always perfect, and Texas gets really hot and really cold.
Yeah.
What that means is Texas has really good heaters and really good AC
Air
everywhere,
conditioning. Yeah.
and good insulation in their apartments and houses.
Not in
Southern
California.
California has dog shit insulation heating and cooling because we never need it except for the times we
Except
do.
for the
So
one
when
you
it
do.
does get
Yeah,
extreme,
exactly.
when it gets really hot or really cold, then we're screwed.
It's it's funny because I mean California, because the climate here is so temperate. It's so consistent and so consistently generally good, because it does fluctuate. Like in winter
Mhm.
it gets colder at night because it is an arid borderline desert climate, and but like it
Borderline.
never really fluctuates all that much. But like I mean, I remember when I first moved to San Diego from Milwaukee, and like I got out here and it was January and it was like 72 and sunny, and there were still people outside wearing like winter coats. And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's so nice up. But it was January. And like there was a chill breeze in the air, even though it was 71 degrees. So it was like,
Mm.
so like, I don't know, and I see it here too. Like people get cold, like, and I do now too. If it gets below 68, I'm fucking freezing. I have to turn the heat on.
Yep.
Like yeah, and so it's like yeah, yeah.
SoCal, like
Gets
humans
below 20,
are
I'm fucking yeah. You get a
humans are more resilient to weather.
well, yeah.
But
We
the
get
problem is
acclimated
that
to
if
wherever we are. Is the thing.
you live in Southern California, it's you become such a bad weather pansy in like 2 years that you just can't stand any heat or cold.
Right.
Can you hear that background noise?
A little bit, but it's not bad.
Okay.
But in any case, it's the top of the hour. We've had a day. We had a win. Sure, they don't care. They don't care about the hand reviews. We can maybe do it. It's a little extra work for me, so probably not.
Okay. Just a thought.
No
Just a
one got
thought.
excited. We'll workshop that and we'll get back to you. But for
Okay.
now, we'll see. We had the new format today. We hope you liked it. And we'll see you next week's come back at the top of the hour for Border Trans.
Oh, is it in 1 hour? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
one
one
hour for
hour.
Border Trans. That's
Yep.
awesome. And then Tuesday night we've got Jimmy Chen on the transgender show. I forget what his accolades are. I think he's an author, but don't quote me on that. But we do have a show on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. The transgender show. It's a 2-hour interview show where I interview somebody from our community. They share their story, and we show other trans folks that they're not alone. That's the point of that one. So we'll see
Super
you in
duper.
an hour. Love y'all.
All right. See ya.